Welcome back to another episode at a beautiful day at the Gruesome Garage. So we got finished up with the cooling and I took it for a ride and it's doing great. The only problem is we're getting wheel hop. So today we are going to try to put in these guys right here, shock boxes, because the stock location for Cherokee shocks is just terrible. And from my previous Cherokee, I already had them mounted over there, as you can see. They're mounted on leaves already, so they're ready for shock hoops. I didn't want to do regular shock hoops because then you cut a hole in your fender, which we're doing anyway, but then there's a permanent hole, kind of. There's no really great way to clean it up. You get mud spraying in there, you get water spray, and in the winter you get salt. So we're going to try to keep these nice and sealed. So right now, obviously, like I said before, I started before I started filming because, you know, I completely forgot, but this is what we're starting with. First, start with welding in these buggers right here. This is where the top of the shock is going to be held in. Tack them together like this one over here is tacked together, so you can see in there. And then after we're tacked together, we're gonna cut some holes in here, measure, cut some holes, and get to shocking. So we got both of our boxes tacked up. And now, just cutting it out and basically fitting it up. Now it's really up to you where these need to go. Depends on where you're gonna put your shock tabs. Now I previously had these from before. I had shock hoops, but I really don't like that. I really like this idea where it's gonna be all sealed up when we're all done. So I measured, I'm really happy with this height. And what size shock I can use an absolutely humongous shock. So let's get to tacking this one in and then measure it up for this side. I said I'd get back to you guys after I tacked them in, but did a little more than tacking on this one. Fully zipped it. And basically, she's ready to roll. Nothing crazy, nothing pretty, but it's structural. And I'm ready to take all my measurements off of this one and bring it to this side. After that, just gotta run a piece of DOM across the two to brace it up. My shock hoops will be done. Paint, shocks, and this thing will be driving on the road like a straight queen it is. As you guys can see, we got this guy in, and I basically matched everything up, as much straight measurements as I could find in this thing. So we matched up the angle of where they are on both sides, matched the position from the base to back here on this piece of trim, and, you know, basically figured out that they're in the same spot, and it's time to do some welding. Nice and sturdy. Now I just got to deal with the typical XJ hack job cuts that I did. Not as bad on that side. just because the stupid spare tire carrier thing, I cut too much out, thinking I cut just enough out like a moron. So, you know, you live and you learn. So thankfully I got a bunch extra sheet metal from cutting out, and we're just gonna patch it in. But before we do that, we're gonna do the cross brace to get this thing even stiffer while I have the 30 wire in the welder, because I really want to do 23 for the sheet metal stuff, because it's really blowing holes in it with the 30 even when I turn it down. So let's get at it. Let's get that bar in. Well guys, I got this piece of tube together, fit it up, cleaned it up. Time to tack this baby in and basically be done, other than my hack holes, like I said before, but those aren't as important as this to get the shocks in. So let's do it. Tacked in. Let's get to finishing it off. I'm happy where it is. Like I said, just gotta patch these gapers, and I gotta get some long shocks, because all the spare shocks that I have, well, I could use a set right now, but if I go off-road, they don't have enough articulation, so I need like 14, 15 inches of travel. So the biggest I have is 12 inches, so we'll throw those in for now. Just like that, guys, we got ourselves some wrist shock boxes. Just got to do a little hack patching like I've said before. And this thing is ready for a full send. Now I need some longer shocks, because like I said, all the junk shocks we got lying around, these are basically fully extended, like the travel ends like down here, so it's got like 3 inches of travel, which is fine for the road. But like I said, now I really want to get like 6-7 inches out of it, so I figured out a solution. I'm gonna take these brackets off, cut them completely off. I'll order some rough stuff brackets that brings it up about 3.5 or 3 9/16 to be exact, to the top of to the center of the eye, and that'll give me a little more playroom. And then I ordered myself I think it's a 13.5 or 14 inch travel shock from Rusty's. So we're gonna use that in here, and they're gonna match the front shocks, because who doesn't want matching shocks? Well guys, tune in next time and you'll see this thing driving down the road and cruising, and maybe do some more odds and ends.